What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs bringing you video going over the Monday night showdown between the Bears and the Vikings. So before we start, just want to let you guys know that we've been very successful here at Astrodfs, whether it be showdowns or the main slates. We've been very, very good, especially on FanDuel. I believe FanDuel now we are, I think it's going to be 7-3, and DraftKings. It's 8-2. DraftKings is 7-3, so very successful on the main slates. You could see here yesterday, that's what it looked like. It was kind of closer on FanDuel, but we always post our results to show that we are a successful DFS provider. You just look at the numbers. They do not lie. We do pretty good. So if you guys are interested, head over to astrodfs.com. I will leave the link for our website and the Discord in the description. If you do go to our website, it's pretty easy to get to our Discord. You just click Discord, it'll take you right there. You can see our results. You can see our articles that we post for the showdowns and the main slate. And then it also has our subscription packages right here as well. Now let's get into why you came here for some of the plays today. Now, I know it's going to sound weird, but if you look at that captain spot, Dalvin Cook is 20,000. If you want to play Dalvin Cook in the captain spot for 20,000 against the Bears, go for it. Go for it. If you end up successful, you have all the praise in the world. But you're asking to spend almost half of your salary on one player. You could put him in the flex, and it's still not a bad play because, you look at his fantasy points, and they do not lie. Like, he is a monster. Like, he's having a great season. He's healthy. He doesn't have a really good offensive line either, but he is putting up numbers. Just look at it. He has 4 games over 100 rushing yards on the season. He has 13 touchdowns on the season, and he's only played 9 games. Like, it's unreal. So, if you can't afford to go Dalvin Cook, go Dalvin Cook. Safe player. He is going against the Bears, but we've seen my Bears get lit up by running backs. Eddie Goldman being gone from the Bears this year due to COVID reasons. You could tell that defense just isn't the same running-wise. So Dalvin Cook definitely is a play there at 13,000. But, there's so much more value in other spots this week. It's a low-scoring game, so a low-scoring game, you want somebody that's going to have a very nice floor. That way, you're protected. It's just his price is really high up there, and there's only 3 other players above 10K, and they're all basically at 10K. So, Allen Robinson is questionable. There's 2 players that are questionable for me that I'm going to make a line based off of. Allen Robinson, of course. If he's playing, you have to go Allen Robinson. It does not matter who he goes up against or who his quarterback is. He just finds a way. The only thing is he only has 3 touchdowns on the season. Whenever they get to the red zone, they try to run it in. It doesn't work. Or they'll go to a tight end for the most part. So he doesn't get the red zone looks as much. But if he gets a decent 20-plus yard touchdown, yeah, he's definitely going to hit pretty well. And tonight, it doesn't matter what Bears corner or Bears receiver you want to target against a Minnesota corner. They're going to do good. It's just trying to figure out who you want to play for the price point. Allen Robinson is the safest Bears player tonight, in my opinion. And he's only at 10.8, which is very nice. You can captain him for 16,200, which still isn't all that bad. Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen. Now, here's the thing. Kirk Cousins is a terrible quarterback. He really is. He really is. But the thing that always bothers me is he has a very talented receiving core in Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, and then even that, he has Dalvin Cook as a running back. So he's got 3 weapons to throw to, and his accuracy and his decision-making it reminds me a lot of Jay Cutler. That's who, in my opinion, Kirk Cousins just reminds me of. It's just Cutler had a little bit more powerful arm, but against the Bears here, the Bears allow a lot. if the Bears take the lead in the second half, or if they have a decent lead in the fourth quarter, Kirk Cousins is going to eat every quarterback that faces the Bears pretty much in the fourth quarter. Will get points because Bears play a very safe, they play a really good defense in the fourth quarter. They will give up points, but what they want to do is kill as much clock as possible. So even if a team does score, it's still going to take them 3, 4, 5, even more minutes to score on that defense. So they play really smart, but he has potential for second half points. I'd rather just go Nick Foles for $400 cheaper, playing a terrible Minnesota team. The Bears' offensive line is terrible. Montgomery is not playing. They'll have Nall and Cordell Patterson in the backfield, possibly Lamar Miller, but it's still, even then, David Montgomery is the best Bears running back, and he couldn't even run with that offensive line. And that offensive line is still hurt. So I'm going to target Nick Foles. I'm not going to target Adam Thielen because he's going to see more of Kyle Fuller than any receiver from Minnesota. And Kyle Fuller locks people down. That's what he does. He might give up a play or two, but he pretty much shuts people down. He's always up there for an interception too. So Adam Thielen is off my list for tonight. But right below Nick Foles, Justin Jefferson. The reason Justin Jefferson is one of my favorite plays today is he's 8,600. He's one guy that I have as a captain tonight. I think it's very good. The reason why is he's playing Jalen Johnson, and I'll continue to say it's not Jalen Johnson's bad. It's not. It's that Kyle Fuller is so good that you have to target Jalen Johnson because Kyle Fuller locks your receivers down. And Jalen Johnson is a rookie. I think he's doing a really good job for being a rookie cornerback thrown against, like I said, when you have a Kyle Fuller on the other side, he's going to get targeted a lot. He's one of the most targeted against cornerbacks in the league, and he does a fairly good job. But Justin Jefferson's been playing really good this season. We've seen him have some really, really good games, and Kirk Cousins, still not a good quarterback, but if they're going to find success in the air, Justin Jefferson, I think, is going to be that guy tonight. So he's probably one of my favorite captain spots tonight. Below him is Jimmy Graham at 7,200. He's really good play. If Cole Kmet is out, Jimmy Graham becomes almost one of my favorite plays tonight too. He gets those red zone looks. They've been trying to space the ball out, but Jimmy Graham is the red zone guy. He's one of the most targeted tight ends. And at 7,200, it's not a bad price either. It's a fairly good price for whoever's below. There's not a lot of value tonight. There really isn't. It's a very defensive game. So Jimmy Graham at 7,200 is one of the guys that you expect to get a touchdown or at least targeted in the red zone. So 7,200, great price. I like it. Darnell Mooney, this kid is doing amazing. It's nice to see a rookie wide receiver for the Bears actually get targets. We've seen so much talent. Even Anthony Miller could have had a better season than he did, but they just went a different route. But Darnell Mooney, especially getting open downfield, is ridiculous. And like I said, the Minnesota defensive backcourt is terrible. We can easily see any of these guys pop off for a 2-touchdown game, get a 50-plus yard touchdown pass if Foles is allowed to throw that far. Granted, here's the thing that I don't think a lot of people, I've seen some people talk about this game, is that Matt Nagy's not calling the plays tonight. They have a different offensive coordinator. Granted, it's going to be the same offensive scheme, but there's going to be different play calling. So we might be able to see Nick Foles throw the ball. Matt Nagy's scheme is short the entire time. You might see a couple of deep passes. It's majority short. This offense coordinator is going to allow Nick Foles to throw the ball. Darnell Mooney is a perfect play today. He just gets open downfield. It's amazing. His route running is great, and his hands are amazing. So 6,600, great price. If you want a cheaper captain than some of the more expensive guys, Foles, Jefferson, Robinson, Cook, Cousins, Darnell Mooney is probably one of the guys you want to get in there, definitely. Ryan Nall is this is what I don't get. One of the things about DraftKings is this guy has only gotten the game pretty much last week when Montgomery got banged up, and he had four targets, 4 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown. 13.5 fantasy points, which is great. Granted, we know he's going to be the starting running back. Like, we knew that. Montgomery's been out with a concussion. Look at his salary. Why is he 6,200 on a Bears offense that cannot run the ball. I don't understand that price point. If he was where he should be at like below 4K, I would definitely get him in there. But at 6,200, I just can't find a way to play him with how involved they've been with Cordell Patterson, especially lately, and then they still have Lamar Miller, who could potentially take some plays. Cordell Patterson, I mentioned, he's probably going to get a lot of running back plays, most of the rushes. So be thoughtful of that. He's just 5,200, just too much for me to like. Anthony Miller, like I said, you could take any Bears receiver, and it's not a bad play tonight. It's just trying to figure out the salary and figure out who's going to be the biggest play. Anthony Miller, I can easily see get a touchdown tonight. It seems like Foles and Miller have started to get a bit of a chemistry going. Miller and Trubisky had a better one, but it's seeming like they're picking up. But yeah, 4,800, really good price point, somebody to spend down on. The kickers are both in play tonight. It's supposed to be a low-scoring game. Low-scoring games, you want kickers because if teams aren't able to score, they're going to kick the ball. So both of them are in play, 4,000, 3,800. I'd probably take Dan Bailey than Santos. Bears either just, it seems like they score or they punt. Maybe if they have a lead, they'll kick a couple extra field goals because they won't be as pressured to score a touchdown or something like that. So Kyle Rudolph, tight ends have been decent against the Bears this year. It's just Kyle Rudolph just hasn't been the same Kyle Rudolph as we've seen before, especially with Irv Smith Jr. getting half of the workload too. So Kyle Rudolph's really not on my watch list. He is a play, but with how small Kirk Cousins throws the ball, usually under 30 attempts, you want to get some of those guys that get the targets, Dalvin Cook, Thielen, Jefferson. But yeah, 3,400, I mean, it's a price, but not something that I like. Both defenses are in play for me tonight. I'd probably go Bears and Vikings. The only reason is, both defensive lines have an advantage against offensive lines. It's just the Bears have a better defensive line. They have potential to get those interceptions. We know Kirk Cousins, especially when they're down, he will just throw the ball. I don't really think he cares about his stats at all, which is great. That's what you want in a quarterback. But at the same time, he is reckless. So I'm probably going to go to the Bears defense, 3,200 rather than Vikings. And if you don't want to play Dalvin Cook, if you don't want to pay that $13,000 or $20,000 for the captain, go Madison for $2,000. Dalvin Cook's been getting a lot of volume. But you look at Madison, and even with that, he's still getting in the game. For $2,000, all he needs is, if he gets a touchdown, that's fantastic because he hits his value. If he gets a few receptions for 20-something yards and gets you 5-6 points, guess what? That's still pretty good value for $2,000. There's not a lot I like. If Allen Robinson does get out, Riley Ridley becomes a play just because he's going to get more snaps in there. I think he's going to get more, a bit more targets than anybody else would if they were coming into the wide receiver core, just because we've seen a little bit of what he can do. So maybe this is an opportunity against a divisional opponent, a low-scoring game, to get him some looks if Robinson is out. But if Robinson's in, he's not on my watch list. And then the other player, I mentioned him earlier, that I'm going to watch for is Cole Kmet. If Cole Kmet does end up playing, it doesn't look like he is. He's been out all week and was limited on Saturday. He's only 800 if he does play. He's not someone that I would play in cash at all tonight. But if you're making 150 lines, definitely get a couple lines of Cole Kmet in there. He can easily steal something, and he gets you a lot of salary at only being 800. Everyone else is pretty much a punt play. I wouldn't really target anybody else. The only player you could target is Harris. That's it, 200 if Cole Kmet's out, but still, that's just too much of a risk. So, yeah, those are my plays tonight, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Like I said, if you do like these picks, if you want to join on our successful winning season, definitely head over to our website. enter our Discord, get some more information if you'd like there. You can follow us on Twitter, DM me or Ghost. We can help you guys out. And yeah, we just want to continue winning, continue providing our subscribers with money. That's why we're here. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you in the next video.